Hello everyone, and welcome back to Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic 2. We are down in the mining tunnels on the Paragus, I think. Paragus? Maybe. I think Paragus. Mining station. And we still don't really know what's going on. And I myself don't know much of the backstory of this game, so I am about as... what's the word? Befuddled as you are. But I've learned my lesson from last time, and I am looking to... interesting. I am looking to quick save as often as possible. There's a corpse back here. Wow, that was worth it. I mean, I don't know how good those are, but I think that's just going to be an upgrade item. But yeah, just... I think that was worth it. And again, I can't disarm the mines. I don't have any skill in explosives. Ouch. That was completely intentional. If I'd chosen a different class, I might now be able to deal with the explosives, but I didn't. I chose the sort of talking option class. And I don't regret it, but it means I'm... well... not exactly well equipped for general combat and explosives and all that.
I'm locked.
Okay, I skipped through these dialogues because we'd seen them before. I had essentially gone through this section once before and pretty much died. And the autosaves in this game are far less friendly. And why do I keep missing that guy? Thank you. The autosaves in the game are far less friendly than they were in the first one, so I lost about 20 minutes of progress. I don't know if that's good or not. I mean, it's certainly annoying because, well, it caused me trouble, but there you go. Grenades, that was just a perfect grenade situation because they were standing so close to each other. Okay, activate the shield and go for the maintenance droid. Their ability to fix the mining droids is slightly excessive. Wow. And my ability to hit them is slightly underwhelming. Okay, looks like I have some peace now. I don't know, if you implement an autosave feature in a game like this, I would try, if I were doing it, essentially, I would try to make it so that it autosaves every 5 to 10 minutes. So this is locked, but I don't actually have an option to blow it up, do I now? Yeah, I don't want to blow up the sonic mine just to try. If that opens the container. It might, but really I don't care. Turbo lift, that's where I wanted to go. So I've explored everything, let's go to the fuel depot. The thing is, this game doesn't even seem to autosave every time I change maps, which is just a little... I'm not happy with it.
Greeting. It is a pleasure to see you alive, Master, provided my receptors are not off focus. How may I be of assistance?
So apparently, I have amnesia again. Well, isn't that smart? How do you know me? I'm not your master.
Answer. I am a survivor of the Harbinger, just as you were, Master. With the unexpected termination of my previous master, you are the only organic which I may now serve.
Okay. So am I not the same character as from the first game? I may be going back and forth on this because I'm uncertain and I keep reading too much into the game. Anyway, so who was your previous master?
Answer, the captain of the Harbinger, Master. I was in transit to Telos to facilitate communications and terminate hostilities. However, we did not arrive at our intended destination.
So, what happened?
Irritated answer. Oh, Master, it is such a long, dull story, and not terribly relevant to our current situation.
Why don't you tell me anyway?
Hesitant explanation. That has been the subject of considerable discussion since our arrival here, Master. Many have attempted to claim you and this unit as salvage. I was crudely interrogated concerning our brief history together on board the Harbinger, before its communications, weapons, and engines suffered the cascade failure that disabled the ship.
Why don't I remember any of this?
Speculation. It is possible you were incapacitated and locked in the well-shielded cargo compartment as the Harbinger was being systematically crippled, Master.
Incapacitated?
Clarification. Yes, Master. No doubt the flurry of destruction on board the Harbinger somehow drugged you into a stupor from which you could not awaken. Most curious.
Drugged? What do you mean, drugged?
Placation, merely a turn of phrase, Master. The implication that your state was due to the result of ingesting large quantities of Juma juice was unintentional. I meant to communicate only that you were somehow rendered unconscious before you were locked securely in the cargo hold.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here and assume that HK-47 drugged me and put me in the cargo hold before tearing the ship to pieces. It seems to be what's happening here, and I think it's HK-47. He at least looks exactly like HK-47. So let's just keep digging deeper a little.
Clarification, by locked, I meant sealed, Master. My vocabulator seems to be malfunctioning.
Okay, so what happened next?
Recitation. Following the unusual set of coincidences that led to the cascade failure in the Harbinger's systems, we were boarded by a small freighter with unknown ID codes. It appeared that this freighter had been attacked, and the captain wanted to study it. This freighter appeared to be still spaceworthy. Your cargo compartment was breached, and you were taken on board the freighter shortly before the Harbinger's systems began to go critical. I, too, managed to board the freighter before the Harbinger's destruction. We were most fortunate to have survived, Master.
So... any idea what attacked the small freighter?
Evaluation. Master, I do not know. Judging from the damage, it had been attacked by a much larger vessel. And when it attempted to escape the Harbinger with you on board, it was fired on again. Addendum. It does seem odd that such a small vessel has a high probability of attracting the attention of much larger vessels. Not a welcome trait in a freighter, to be sure.
Okay, so what was this freighter?
Explanation. I believe it was a smuggler's vessel by the name of the Ebon Hawk. Speculation. As to its purpose, I do not know. Perhaps it was always its intention to play dead, then kidnap you off the Harbinger and rob me of my bounty.
Bounty?
Clarification. By bounty, I refer to your life, Master. It would pain me to see you damaged in any way. That is why the arrival of this Ebon Hawk caused me considerable distress.
And the Ebon Hawk came here?
Apology. My memory core cannot provide a clear answer on that point, Master. Suffice to say that once we arrived at this floating rock, our situation became much clearer.
How so?
Explanation. Despite my market value, Master, The miners were far more interested in you. It did not take long for me to ascertain the reason for this. While an HK protocol droid is a valuable piece of property, Jedi are worth much more in certain exclusive markets across the galaxy. Painful admission. I must confess to feelings of inferiority at the speculated difference between my value and the price for your capture. I was forced to remind myself it was not due to a failing of my model or function, but because you were a Jedi.
Okay, so how did they find out?
Surprised answer. Why, I told them, Master. You are the exiled Jedi who served with Revan in the Mandalorian Wars, are you not? I hope all that has happened has not been the result of a miscommunication. If so, then the problem lies with the core word databases, which are notoriously spotty.
Unpleasantness? What?
Answer. All that has happened has been because they believe you to be a Jedi, Master. They debated what to do with you as you lay unconscious in the medical bay. One group seemed intent on selling you as property. The other group opposed this.
And what happened then?
3 standard hours after the division between the miners became apparent, accidents began to occur throughout the facility. A result of improper maintenance, I believe. These accidents coincided with the degradation of the mining droid behavioral cores. Crude models are prone to such failures, resulting in murderous rampages. The mortality rate of organics in the facility rose quickly.
And about the rest of the miners?
Many miners began to join you in the medical bay as a cascade of flawlessly timed detonations occurred in isolated gas pockets in the lower levels of the facility. The explosions herded the miners into emergency sections of the station, quickly and efficiently cutting them off from communications and facility control. But sadly enough, not the ventilation systems.
Sadly enough? It's so obvious what happened. Anyway.
You see, the explosions had damaged specific sections of this facility's ventilation systems, causing a slow, lethal buildup of toxic fumes in the dormitory level.
Are there any left alive?
Answer. I do not know, Master. Ironically enough, any miner that fled to the dormitory level to protect themselves from the droids and the explosions would find themselves in a gas-filled death trap.
Yeah, then I need to get there to rescue them.
It is unlikely any miners remain alive. As I said, the dormitory has been cut off from the rest of the facility, as has the hangar bay. There is no escape.
Okay, so before I had the option of asking him if he was responsible for all this, it doesn't seem to be there anymore. Can we try to contact them using a comlink?
Apology. Unfortunately, communication with the dormitory section is severed, Master. It is perhaps for the best, especially if any other accidents had occurred in that section. If that were the case, the severed comlink would have spared us the satisfaction of hearing the miners' screams as they lived out their last moments in fear and terror.
Satisfaction?
Rapid retraction. Why, yes, satisfaction in knowing their fate, Master. It would be unfortunate if they had been slaughtered, but there would be a calm, comforting certainty that there is nothing we can do to escape until a ship arrives.
There must be a way to reach them.
Theory. You could walk across the surface of the asteroid to the dormitory airlock, but such a route would be extremely hazardous, and I do not wish to see you damaged.
Those miners could be hurt or in danger. We need to make sure they're all right.
Warning. Master, continued exploration of this facility may place you in unnecessary danger. I encourage you to return to the medical bay and wait for retrieval from a vessel that is no doubt on the way, even as we continue this pointless conversation.
Yeah, I'm going to find those miners, and you're going to help me.
Weary resignation. Very well, Master. But there is very little that I can do. You see, the airlock is sealed by a code.
Alright, so how do I get the code?
Correction. Oh, I already possess the code, Master. But I am afraid that it will do you no good.
I'll be the judge of that.
Condescending explanation. Master, the console governing the droid maintenance area and the airlock is voice-printed musing. In the last days of his life, the maintenance officer was quite careful about voice protocols, bordering on paranoid obsession. Conjecture. I suspect once he realized something was wrong in the facility, he voice-locked the droid bay functions. A prudent measure, but in the end, he met the same fate as the rest of the organics.
I am very much confused about everything that's going on here. Even though I am fairly certain HK... I'm not certain if it's HK-47, because HK-47 was red, but then again a paint job isn't that difficult, and it's not inconceivable that in 5 years or so, the first game, someone repainted the guy. Voice printed? Question mark?
Explanation. Yes, Master. Many consoles have voice recognition sensors built into their systems so that only selected individuals can unlock them.
You said you already have the code?
Condescending explanation. Oh, yes, Master. The code is Maintenance Control Voice Print ID R1B5. But unless the maintenance officer speaks the code, it is useless.
Leave condescending out of your speech conditionals from now on, or else.
Placating answer. Oh, of course, Master. I shall endeavor not to forget such descriptors in the future. If I do, I assure you, it is merely a result of memory damage I have suffered since our arrival.
Okay, so how can I bypass the voice print?
Answer. Master, you cannot. You are trapped here just as I am. There is nothing to do, except patiently wait for whatever the future has in store for us.
Okay, maybe I can now ask some of those questions that disappeared from earlier.
Of course, Master. How may I be of assistance?
Have you seen a T3 unit?
Hesitant answer. A T3 utility droid would be a common sight in this facility. It is indeed curious that I have not seen many since my arrival. However, I feel I must inform you that, droid prejudice aside, T3 models exhibit excessive individualism when not routinely memory wiped. This individualism can become such a nuisance that even a droid such as myself is tempted to reduce them to their base components, if not crush them into slag. But enough of my seemingly irrelevant tangent. Where did you leave the droid, Master? That would logically be the best place to look.
The unit was last seen near the hangar.
Answer. Then that would explain why such a T3 unit isn't here, Master. I believe my photoreceptors are functioning adequately enough to verify that.
I already like the guy. Then maybe you can answer something else for me.
Of course, Master. How may I be of assistance?
Voice printing... Are you sure you haven't seen a T3 unit?
Accessing memory. Yes. I believe you've asked this question before, Master. Let me see if I can recite the answer I provided the first time. Oh, yes. It was, where did you leave the droid, Master? If you are looking for garbage, it would be best to ask a custodial unit, not a translation droid.
Never mind then, I'll keep looking around. Okay. So, he's currently just called HK Protocol Droid, which means it might not be HK-47 after all. I really wouldn't know. Datapad, sonic imprint sensor. With the protocol droid's help, I've finished work on the sonic imprint sensors. I've installed them in the mining droids, but I'm locking up the original here to prevent the other miners from using its ability to record and playback voices to override the droid's voice print protocols. Let's check the journal voice print protocol. With the sonic imprint sensor, you might be able to record pieces of the maintenance officer's voice from holologs and use them to open the airlock door. Okay, so I just need to find holologs, which in their sum contain all the words required to open that place, that sealed door, basically. Good. Now let's check the workbench. Is there anything I can currently upgrade? Can I upgrade anything? I mean, does it no longer require the upgradable modifier? Maybe not. I found a biorestorative underlay Mark II, which gives me a regeneration of 2. I can upgrade item, armor, and robes with this. Okay, so apparently I need to have an armor that's actually marked as upgradable, which apparently the standard miner uniform can actually be upgraded. I'm just wondering, can I remove? Yes, I can. Okay. Just in case I want this regeneration on a different item, I basically use this to check if I could also upgrade stuff. And my vibroblade should be upgradable. I have some stuff. I have an agrinium grip, which gives a 1 point of slashing damage bonus. This grip, made from the lighter mineral agrinium, balances a weapon towards the point, resulting in heftier swings. The modifications require a workbench with adequate tools and a weapon marked as upgradable. Okay. And I have a basic ionite edge, which gives a damage bonus against droid. Well, it gives a plain 1 point of ion damage bonus, and another 1 to 4 points of ion damage against droids. Ionite alloy produces the inverse charge of its surroundings, creating a disrupting effect to electronic systems. The modifications require no blah blah blah. Do not have a different energy cell, so I'll just assemble this thing. Yeah. Just wondering, can I create or destroy items? I have total components 50. That's not bad. But I need higher skills to actually... Oh, so that's how it works. For example, to make a vibro sword, I need more skill points in repair, as in repair 10 is required to create a vibro sword. And yeah, computer use 5 is required to make computer spikes and all that. That's cool. Means I can't currently make anything, but it's still cool. This door's probably not going to work, right? Yeah. That's where I came from, and it's not looking particularly inviting at this stage. Hey, you guys, I have an ionic blade now. Isn't this... It looks fairly similar to the place where T3M4 was gunned down by HK-47. Well, I should probably just keep calling him HK, because he might not be HK-47. I don't know. I've got a level up. Let's use this to sneakily, well, heal myself. High charisma, increasing the potency of a character's force powers. It also reduces the penalty when using force powers of an opposing alignment. And high charisma also improves your companion's chance to hit. Finally, charisma influences persuade skill. No question what I'm going to use. Definitely going to go for persuade. I get 3 skill points per level up, which is really nice. So how about some awareness and some repair? Powers. I cannot go for the buffs because I need character levels to be higher. Level 9 and 6 for some others. Level 6 as well to do the heal. a force-based shield, not terribly interesting. Do I have some sort of effect mind? Yes, I do. So, dominate mind is also universal, okay. That looks good. And as I leveled up, as you level up, you basically get an instant heal, which is very handy. Droid Deflector Mark 1. Pretty much useless to me. I don't know if I could have maybe gotten HK, the protocol droid unit thing, which probably caused all the problems aboard this station. I don't know if I could have maybe gotten him to join. Hey, look, it's a special guy. 2 special guys. These do not look like mining droids. So how about you take some grenades? Okay, I had expected a little more, so I basically queued up 2 grenades, but am I not going to be able to open this door again? You know, if it gives me the option of fighting the door, as in, you know, trying to bash it in, then at least make it possible instead of, you know, making me miss the door. Because that should not be possible. I mean, look at this. It's pathetic, really. Oh wait, no. No, I want to... Where's the... There. There. You are my actual target. Which I keep missing. Okay, so these are mining droids marked. But, yeah. I have an ion upgrade on my weapon. These guys aren't posing much of a threat. And here's a maintenance station and a plasteel cylinder. Is that going to be unbreakable as well? I'm just going to bash at this for a... Oh, look, it actually did something. I find this to be a really sort of an oversight or just an annoying thing the game does, that it makes it so that you keep missing stuff like this. I mean, really, I get that sometimes a container is fairly sturdy, so having a lot of health might make sense, but missing altogether, I don't see how that works. Broken items, reflex packages, parts, components, it's not too bad. I'm definitely going to access all the logs, because I need those to, you know, open that door.
Finished the sonic imprint sensor prototype for the mining droids. Everyone knows they need an upgrade. The sensor should allow me to issue voice commands to them rather than manually adjusting their routine each time the mining specifications change. I've been keeping the sensor in the maintenance workshop for the time being. I wanted to test it first by recording and playing back some simple voice commands.
Okay, Ebonhawk droids.
Finished my examination of the droids from the Ebonhawk freighter. The T3 unit looked like it had shut itself down. The protocol droid, however, made up for it. It talked my ear off for most of the hour, asking questions about the facility, the personnel, and so on. Still, it wanted to make itself useful, so I put it to work until its master wakes up from the med bay. It seems to have some skills in speaking to droid behavior cores, so... There's been some trouble with some of the mining droids, so I'm signing off. Been speaking to the protocol droid about the Jedi in med bay. I thought they'd all gone away or been killed in the Jedi Civil War. The droid told me that his master's the only Jedi he knows of in all the galaxy. That the Jedi had served in the Mandalorian Wars almost 10 years ago. That would have meant that the Jedi served under Revan for a time. Maybe the Jedi knows what happened to Revan after the end of the Jedi Civil War. Been too busy to enter a log for a while. There's been more and more accidents since that Jedi arrived. The miners are starting to get restless, especially Corda. Corda said the exchange is offering a huge bounty on Jedi Knights and that we can make a fortune if we sell the Jedi to Nar Shaddaa. Security shut down that idea pretty quick. But I don't think Corda and his men are going to give up that easy. I mentioned the trouble to the Jedi's protocol droid, and he seemed concerned about his master's safety. I told the droid not to worry. The Corda wouldn't...
Okay. Access log 25315, voice print ID.
When the dock officer reported the droids repairing the Ebonhawk, I saw the voice print ID on the droid console system. Someone ordered them to repair that freighter, but I can't find a trace of the order anywhere. If anyone tries that again, they won't be able to do it from this terminal unless I let them. The voice print should cut any user off from the central functions unless I give the code. The maintenance check on the droids didn't help. If anything, the accidents have increased. Security interrogated me about the droids and they weren't too happy with my answers. I don't understand it though. These aren't combat models. They shouldn't even know how to attack. I can't help but think, what if somebody staged the initial trouble with the mining droids just to get them all sent to maintenance, and then did something to them? I think security's right. Someone's trying to sabotage this facility and they're using the droids to do it. But why?
Okay. Main functions, emergency subroutines. Check for exits. Check the containment fields. Containment field activated, breach in fuel lines detected, access to hangar bay denied. The system is registering a blast in one of the main fuel lines. The containment field has been activated to keep the explosion isolated within the hangar bay and fuel lines. Okay. Awareness. That would imply that the fuel lines connect directly to the hangar bay. If you could gain access to the fuel lines, you could bypass the containment fields entirely. Okay. So check the fuel lines. Although they're currently sealed because no ships are docked, they would open automatically if a ship did arrive. Okay, that would mean you would have to board the docked ship and go through the fuel line to reach the hangar, however, which would be an extreme means of gaining access. Possible. I mean, chances are HK has called someone here, because, well, he talked about, you know, a bounty and such. He probably just wants the money for us. I don't know. So if they dock, we could probably fight our way on that ship, go through the fuel lines and get to the Ebonhawk that way, which I suspect we want to go to the Ebonhawk. Let's check other exits first, though. Turbolift to administration level. The turbolift to the administration level is programmed to automatically open only when entering administration from the fuel depot. Okay, other exits. Turbolift to mining tunnels. Okay, the turbolift door to the mining tunnels has been locked down and it cannot be opened. You cannot use it to re-enter the tunnels. Makes sense, right? Other exits. Check airlock. The airlock door has been sealed from inside this level, as if to prevent someone from coming in from the outside. Okay, open the door to the airlock. Access denied. Strangely enough, this console has been voice printed. Not only does it require a code, but the code has to be spoken in the user's voice, most likely the voice of the maintenance officer. Until the voice print ID is given, you cannot give commands through the terminal, though you can search through the records, cameras, and perform checks on various systems. Yeah, that was the only exit. Emergency subroutines. Emergency lockdown status. I'm just looking through this thing to see if there's any more logs. The explosions within the facility look like they have locked down every blast door in the facility, including the ones to the hangar. It looks like each turbolift door needs to be opened manually. Against procedure, however, the doors have been programmed so that anyone entering the administration level will have the doors open automatically. But the turbolifts will not respond to anyone leaving the level, effectively cutting the administration level off from the rest of the facility. Anything else? Check ventilation systems. The ventilation systems appear to be disabled except in two areas, the mining tunnels on the level above and the main living quarters on the outside of the asteroids. The ventilation system in the mining tunnels activated as soon as the containment fields went down. The system is now venting fuel out to the surface of the asteroid to keep it from building up within the facility. Okay, trace the source of the shutdown. The containment fields appear to have been shut down via a remote in another section of the facility. You can't get a signature on the ID terminal. Turn, access comm system, run diagnostic, signal unit destroyed. Okay, so there's nothing to be done about that. Access cameras, containment field. Droid maintenance area has been sealed, new programming. Okay, we've seen those before. Maintenance level camera, we've seen that before. Okay, so I'll just log out. I think I'll use this opportunity to make a cut. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.